Under the annoyance, Mr. Jingai was too lazy to maintain his demeanor, and said coldly, "Unexpectedly, my face would be so despised by others." "Well, since it is fair competition, then the higher price will naturally get. I want to see how much wealth you have, come and grab this clam from me." After he finished speaking, he raised his head and shouted, "I'll pay 50 million. The loud voice made the audience noisy again. The bidding became a big bet, and the atmosphere in the venue quickly became warm. The rules are simple. Who has more money? Who is the king of this battle? Mr. Jinghai's thinking is very simple. If he fights with him a little bit, he is afraid that he will go on endlessly. Therefore, he must bid a price that can bluff him, and directly ask him 50 million. He must not dare to follow. However, no one thought that Charlie's face remained unchanged, and two words were spit out in his mouth. 100 million. The auction price doubled again. The atmosphere in the venue is boiling. In just a few minutes, the price of this lot has even doubled tenfold, which is the focus of auction history. Stephen couldn't help shouting, "Charlie, you don't pretend to be there, do you have the money?" Charlie couldn't help laughing, and said, "It's true, why do you drop it? You are not convinced? I might as well tell you the truth. This card I use is from your Chin family, and it was given to me by your second uncle. So, is it unexpected? Are you surprised? You! Stephen's face flushed. "You be it starred, dare to waste Chin family's money. Sooner or later, I'm going to smash you, a liar." Mr. Jingai turned his head, looked at Stephen, and asked, "Mr. Stephen, do you know this person?" Stephen snorted coldly and said, "He is a live-in son-in-law of the Wilson family, and he doesn't have a job. He eats his wife's soft rice at home. Recently, he has some money by tricking my second uncle. Is it?" Mr. Jingai raised his eyebrows, as if taking a reassurance pill, and snorted coldly. "Slap a swollen face to fill a fat man. Young people, I advise you not to be too arrogant, otherwise you are the one who suffers. Not that I despise you. Can you get 100 million? Charlie's face was slightly cold, and he said lightly, "I can't get it, don't worry about it. You can continue to bid if you have seeds, and shut your mouth if you don't have them." Mr. Jingai couldn't stand it any longer and cursed, "Boy! You are looking for death." Charlie laughed and said, "I'm looking for death? It's up to you. You can't even afford to buy things, and you want to kill me? What a fool." Mr. Jingai was repeatedly ridiculed by Charlie and could no longer maintain his demeanor. He sullenly shouted, "Young man, you'd better give me enough. Obediently let things out, otherwise you will have your life to buy, and your life will be useless." Fungi Bayo's expression suddenly changed as soon as these words were spoken. This is a clear rule to smash the treasure pavilion. His face was sullen, but he didn't dare to refute Master Jingai, and he was very uncomfortable. Charlie smiled slightly, "If you want my life, you have to wait for the auction to end, right? Now the auction is not over, I just paid 100 million, please continue to bid." Warnya was very surprised. Mr. Jingai is not an ordinary person, even with the Song family backing. There is no guarantee that she can deal with Mr. Jingai. But what did Charlie mean by offending Master Wade so much? Where does the confidence come from? Jacob fell on the sofa and was shocked to cover his heart, panting, thinking, "It's over, this time is over. My son-in-law is over, and my family will be over." Mr. Jinghai's face was stiff. Charlie didn't put him in his eyes at all. These words were undoubtedly slapped him in the face. However, Charlie was right. This was at the auction. If he wanted to get the clam, he had to continue bidding. But, 100 million. Who the H*LL can afford it? Everyone's eyes are on Master Wade, to see how he responds. Mr. Jinghai's face was green and white, but for that clam, he suppressed his anger and said in a low voice to Charlie, "My friend, if I offended you just now, it was really unintentional, please forgive me. But this clam is really useful to me. Please raise your hand and let me give you a favor. My favor is more valuable than this clam." The cold light in his eyes flickered, and this hairy boy dared to make himself so embarrassed. When this matter is over, he must kill him. Charlie said faintly, I'm sorry, I can use it to be useful, so I can't let you have it. Moreover, I just said that you are a chicken bully in my eyes, and your favor is worthless to me. Mr. Jingai broke down. He has only one thought now: when the auction ends, he will kill Charlie by finding a way. Must kill him! Exclamation mark. Seeing that Mr. Jingai was counseled, the people at the scene couldn't help but sigh. They didn't expect that this young man had just gone all the way to the end, and even Mr. Jingai had tasted his defeat. With the final hammer drop of the auctioneer, Charlie finally succeeded in taking the finale of the clam at a price of 100 million. Mr. Jingai was so angry that he glanced bitterly at Charlie, his face was green and he left the scene directly. He wants to kill Charlie right now, but circumstances don't allow it. This matter will be solved slowly. Looking at the back of Mr. Jingai leaving, Warrior reminded Charlie, Mr. Jingai is not an ordinary person. I don't think he will give up and will make trouble for you. You must be careful these days. Charlie smiled and said, I'm afraid he won't come.